Hello again, everyone. This is a very exciting unboxing for me. These are all of my purchases from the recent Franklin Christoph pen show online, and there may actually be another one coming. But I went a little crazy in this pen show just because there are so many beautiful models that I had never seen before and really appealed to me. And I have already taken a peek at these in the containers, and I know that I'm really excited about these. So I did also get a couple of inks. I got the Honeycomb and the Shop Denim Blues. And I'm actually going to put both of these inks in these pens today. One in each, obviously. One, I know specifically which pen I want to put in, the denim color, and then the other one, I'm going to put it in the pen, but I'm not sure if that's going to be an ink that's going to be permanently in there, and you'll probably see why once I open the pen itself. So these lovely little zip cases came in these boxes, these white boxes, and I was not expecting this larger one to come in a little leather case because they were saying that they were running out of these larger cases. So I was not actually expecting to get one, but when I saw that I did, I was really excited because I do kind of like to have these little cases with my Franklin Christoph pens. So, fairly minimal packaging. So it came in these, and then, they packed everything really well in a FedEx box in addition to that. And I have the documentation that came with these. They give you a lifetime warranty card, and then I do have one pen with a Nagahara grind on it, and I will reveal which one that is when we get to that pen. So I actually purchased one of these in the morning and then one of them in the afternoon, and then the one that is coming I ordered several days later because I got paid again. That's one thing. And then also there was a pen left that I still really wanted to get, and I was really surprised that there were any left. And as it turned out, that was the last one. So I purchased the last one of that. They're going to be doing, I'm not sure when I'm going to be posting this. I'm going to try and post it closer to when I actually get these. They will be doing some encores of, I think they said the 10 most popular pens they're going to do encores of. I don't know how many will be in those runs, and I don't know which ones they will be because I don't know which of the 10 most popular ones were. Although I suspect there are a few that I could probably predict because they seem to always be popular. So I'm going to open up the pens real quick, and then I'm actually going to swatch the ink in my ink swatch book so that you can see what these look like as swatches, and then I'm going to fill the pens. So this might be a little bit of a longer video. If you want to fast forward and see any particular part of the video, feel free. So I'm going to open this one first, the bigger one first, because this is the first one I got. This is the one I got in the morning, which has the custom Nagahara grind on it. When I purchased this other pen in the afternoon, they were out of a lot of the different grinds, so I actually got just a regular, well, not a regular, it's the black coated in a broad nib, because I'd never tried a broad nib from Franklin Christoph before. I think that was kind of the only standard size that I had never tried from them. So I went ahead and put it on this one. So let's go ahead and open this up. So you may not be able to really tell, but this is a little bit bigger than the average pen case, and that is because it contains the Model 66. So you may say, oh, well, this looks very normal, but I'm trying to put it more towards the outside light, you can see a little bit of sort of an ultraviolet tinge to it, and this is the Italian Ice. So this was the one that I was looking to fill up my collection. So this was the first one I purchased, and this is a Model 66, which is a fairly large model, but quite frankly, I was expecting it to be even larger given how many people have said that they think it's a little too large. I probably wouldn't post this, but I think that it's actually going to be a very comfortable size for me, especially since I do tend to like larger pens. This would be a great candidate for filling as an eyedropper fill, which I'm not going to do today. Today I'm just going to be using the converter, partially because I'm going to be putting the honeycomb ink in here, and I don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing. I kind of want to find an ink that will work with this really well. I tend to have a lot of really bright sun. I keep trying to go more towards my window, but you can't, probably if I took a picture where the sun was shining directly on the pen, you'd be able to see it a little better, but I do think that you can make out some of the lavender color here. So the more UV light it is exposed to, the brighter that lavender hue will appear. And then if I put it onto the other side where I have artificial light that is not UV, it looks totally clear. So I think you might actually be able to see a little bit more of a difference if I go back and forth here. Again, it's pretty light. You can more see it in the end here, but it's not ideal. At some point I will try to, I don't usually get direct sunlight in this room, but like I said, because our sun is so bright, I'm still getting a little bit, which is why you're getting that little bit of lavender tinge here. But in direct sunlight, it will really shine. And I have not actually looked at it in direct sunlight yet, but I'm super excited. So that's the Italian Glass. And then this other pen, which I got in the afternoon, was one that I was thinking of actually adding to my morning order, but they sold out too fast. So in the afternoon, I said, okay, I really am going to get this other one. There were actually two that I was really tempted to get. There were so many good ones. I'm hoping that the other one that I wanted to get in the afternoon, which also sold out very quickly, does come back as an encore, but we'll have to see. So this lovely little guy is a Model 3, and it is in the, I think it's called Alaskan Ice, and they called it the blue jeans or denim color, but this looks more like the purple and blue one, which I think might have been orchid or something like that. It doesn't, because the denim, the stonewash denim is what they were calling it, but I think it looks more like the orchid color that they had. So I'm wondering if it was misnamed. Either way, I absolutely love this color combination. And then to have this sort of blue tinted ice color on the back is beautiful. I really, really love it. This again would be another good candidate for a dropper fill, meaning you would just remove the converter in there and then use a little bit of silicone grease around here. And Franklin Christoph also recommends putting some silicone grease around the threads of the nib when it's in there. I have not done that on any of my Franklin Christophs, or maybe I did it with one, and it didn't seem necessary. It didn't seem like it made much of a difference one way or another. But I think that's just to be on the safe side so that your ink doesn't leak out through the edges of the nib here. But this one is lovely, and this is definitely the ink I had set aside for this, which is this Shop Denim Blues. This seemed like a perfect combo. I'm still going to put it in the converter, though, because I want to decide whether or not I actually do want to eyedropper this pen, but this is just such a lovely combo. They really had so many lovely pens at the pen show, but I really am drawn to these more transparent models. Okay, so I'm going to put the little pen cases off to the side. I haven't really figured out what to do with these when they're not holding pens, but I love them. I love these little cases. They're so nice and soft, and they hold pens perfectly if you ever need to just carry one or two pens around. Oh, and I didn't tell you which specialty nib this one has on it. So this one has the medium cursive italic, and that's a number 6 nib size. And so I have been very happy with the Nagahara grinds. I've actually since purchased a few of the Matsuyama nibs. They offered a few number 5 Matsuyama nibs just by themselves on the website, and I got a couple through that. And then I got one used from another place that was on a Franklin Christoph pen. I'll show all of these on a different day because we're really focusing on these today. But I have found, just based on my limited experience with the grinds from Matsuyama that I purchased after getting the Nagahara, my first Nagahara, The Matsuyama nibs do seem a little bit smoother, I have to say. But the Nagahara nibs are still beautiful, and I have been very, very happy with them personally. Okay, so let's put that off to the side. Let's do the ink samples first. I'm actually going to put my little dirty napkin underneath those so I do not damage the table here. And then I have my ink swatch book. I'll put a link below to the setup video for this. And today I'm going to be using the number 3A automatic pen, and this is a Moonman glass dip pen, which is actually made out of plastic. And I'll put a link to this as well because it's not in this original video, but the link to the automatic pen is. So we have those ready. I have a little bit of water off here to the side to rinse out my tools, which I'll only need to do a couple of times. Okay, and I didn't really prepare for this, so I don't have enough lines on this other side. I think I'm just gonna put two little sections over here today so that I can just put the Franklin Christoph inks together, and you can see how I separate the page here. I just use this pencil board as a little guide to do the lines. I'm going to make all 3 of them, but I'm only going to use the top 2 here. Okay, that's pretty easy. All right, I'm going to keep my little blotter paper handy because I'm probably going to need that. And I am also, let's move these out of the way, and then I will zoom in so we can do the ink sample there a little bit closer up. So I'm going to do the honeycomb first. This was a color that I had on my radar for a little while. And so I had added the inks to my cart before the show began so that I knew I would have these already ready to go. And that really is a beautiful ink. It's a little light, which is why I was sort of on the fence as to whether or not I wanted to put this in one of these pens. Oh, there's a little hair there on my page. How about that? I was wondering why I was getting sort of an interesting shading. I'm actually going to leave that on until this dries. It happens sometimes. And I didn't have a whole lot of ink on my tool either, so I wonder if it would actually be darker than that. We'll see when we write with it. And this bottle of ink is the 1 ounce with just the open top. They also sell some with little droppers. Oh yeah, so I think this would be darker with writing. So this is Franklin Christoph. Honeycomb. Yeah, I think that will be pretty well legible. I probably just didn't have enough ink on the automatic pen. It seemed like it, I wonder if it was a little resistant to it because it didn't seem to stick to the automatic pen very well. So then we're going to do the Shop Denim Blues. And these all came very well packaged. They were sealed. Oops, I think that's actually the ink that I got on the page. So this one is obviously very dark, but very beautiful. And I think will be a perfect match for that pen there with the blues in it. But yeah, the other pen that I was thinking of getting was a Model 2, which I don't have any of, and also sort of had a bluish transparent body, and really did have the stone-washed jeans finish in the same places that this one has the blue solid finish as well. Okay, so again, this is Franklin Christoph. This is beautiful, but I'm a sucker for blues. So this is Shop Denim Blues. Okay, just rinse off that last tool, and then I'll put those aside. I will show you this again after it's dried a little bit, but for now I am going to fill the pens so that we can go ahead and get on to the next step in the process here. Okay, I'm going to put this book out of, oh, let me make sure I close that up for now. I'm going to put this out of the frame for the time being. And then I am going to get out my fountain pen testing book, which I'm going to zoom out a little bit more to get to that. And I'm going to do some writing samples in here with the pens. Let me find a blank page in here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to fill the pens first. So I will do the Shop Denim Blues first. And like I said, I'm just going to leave the converters in for now and fill them with that, and then I'm going to decide whether or not I want to eyedropper converter these later. Okay, I'm just pulling up once and then running it through one more time, because you usually get a better fill the second time. Okay. And I'm going to wipe off that excess ink so we don't get ink all over our hands, although I am not usually successful in not getting ink on my hands, if that makes sense. If I use the correct number of negatives there. Okay, and then I'm just screwing the back on, and then I'm going to put the cap back on this one. The only minor annoyance that I have with the clear pens is that you can often see when there's some smearing of ink up here in the cap, but you know, it's not the end of the world. Okay, and then this one I'm going to put the honeycomb ink in. And I even like the way this pen looks when it just looks clear. So to have it sort of like a little secret that when you put it in the sun, it's going to have that extra ultraviolet glow is pretty darn cool. Okay, I'll close that bottle. Some bottles of ink go to the side. I'll just wipe this off on this paper towel. And yeah, I'm a little bit curious as to how this lighter ink will write in this pen, but we will see. And again, just going to close that up. Paper towel off to the side. It's amazing that I don't get ink on everything on my desk, given how many little inky paper towels I have. So that's not too bad. I only got a little bit of blue ink there. It's pretty persistent blue ink. Okay, and I am going to do the Italian ice first. Oops, went the wrong way there. And let's try it posted and see. Actually, it's not too bad because it doesn't add any weight, really. So, it works fine. Franklin. And this nib is lovely. Christoph. This is actually smoother than my broad cursive italic from Nagahara. Franklin Christoph, model 66, with a medium cursive italic Nagahara nib, and then the ink is Franklin Christoph. Honeycomb. Oh my goodness, this nib is amazing. I love it. Okay, so here's the top to bottom. Here's the side to side. So obviously that's the nature of a cursive italic, is that you will have a broader downstroke and a thinner side stroke. So if I go with just the nib perpendicular to the paper, then I'm going to go at a 45-degree angle. You get more variation. And then if I go That way you get even more variation there. It's lovely, 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 lovely. And I don't think it would have a hard time keeping up. Yeah, this is actually much smoother than that broad cursive italic, which I still love, but this one might have my heart now because it's lovely. Okay, so there's that one. And then, so this will post, but it does make the pen fairly long, but again, it doesn't add any, really, weight because the whole pen is fairly light. It might seem a little large with that on, though, but for now, I'll leave it. Okay, and this is, oh, this is a lovely broad nib, too. Franklin Christoph. I was actually thinking that I might change this nib and put it on a different pen. Swap it out with a different brand pen that I actually have an extra fine SIG nib on, but this is a lovely broad nib. They tune their nibs very well. So this is the model 03. And then this has with a broad Franklin Christoph black steel. And I don't have any gold nibs from them. I'm very tempted, but that of course adds a lot of cost. It's like between $80 and $90, I think, to add a gold nib. Franklin Christoph Shop Denim Blues. Oh my goodness, this nib is so beautiful. It's like buttery smooth. I was not expecting it to be that smooth. That is really, really nice. And there's no line variation, obviously, because this is just a regular nib. Oh, and I forgot to say that this is the, oh goodness, I think it's the Alaskan Ice. Actually, let me see. I think I have it on my invoice. I'm going to close that up for just a second while I check that out. And that is a lovely blue. I really like that combo a lot. So that is the, Arctic Ice and Stonewash Blue is what they say. So this one is the Arctic Ice and Stonewash Blue, which, like I said, this looks more like their orchid pattern than the Stonewash Blue, but I loved it either way. So that was, and this is obviously a special edition. It's not one that they make standard. And although they do have Model 3s quite often. And this Model 3 is actually lovely. This is a standard Model 3 with the spot for the clip. I suppose I could have asked for it without the clip, but I wanted the clip on there, so I did not delve into that at all. But, and you can see that there's like a little bit, there's a little spot right here, and that's where the clip is screwed in. So you can just see a little bit there. With the modified 03, this part is just a little bit shorter, and then there is no possibility for a clip. So I think that these two pieces here are actually two separate pieces. But it's fairly, simple in its design. It's fairly, like it's a cylinder, basically. But it's very nice. It has this little extra clear spot down at the bottom. And then this one is indeed the Italian Ice Special Edition. Let me put that here. Oh, love these nibs. Italian Ice Special Edition. This is why I keep getting more and more Franklin Christophs. I'm so impressed with them. So this is, I think that they were saying that this used to be a model that they would use, not this color, but they would, in black, they would use them at pen shows to test nibs and inks. And people asked them to make them for people to buy. And then they started doing that. And this is the largest version of this sort of torpedo-like design because this has a really nice curved shape. And there is actually a flat side. So right here where the Franklin Christoph So it says Franklin Christoph Model 66. Where that is, it has a flat, although it has a flat bottom, so it shouldn't roll. Although it's still rolling a little bit, but it is flat there. The cap does not have a little flat bit, so if you just put the cap down, it would, roll around. But this is a lovely, lovely pen. I'm so glad that it's not too big. I was really worried about that, but it's actually, I really, really like the size. It feels really great in my hand. I love writing with it. This nib is also obviously amazing. I do like this honeycomb ink. Like I said, whether I'll keep it in this pen, I don't know, but it's lovely for now. And then, you can see this is the black coated nib. And this is just like one of the smoothest broad nibs I have. It's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And this one has the Franklin Christoph 03, so it has that across here, and you can't really see it. It's very subtle and subdued. That's part of the reason why I like their designs. They also do have their initials up on the top, but you can't really see it very well. And I think the same is true for this pen. They have their, I don't know if you can see that at all. Light might be interfering. But, oh, there you go. So they have like their little logo and their initials up there. But this is a lovely addition. These two are just lovely, lovely additions to my Franklin Christoph collection. I am waiting for one more. I will probably do a separate unboxing for that, and then at some point later I'll do a full collection video. But the reason why I like collecting these, they're an American-made company. They're made with quality. They're and care. They're beautiful. They're not mass-produced. Especially with these kinds of things, you kind of feel like you're getting something special. So in my mind, they're worth the money. They're not the cheapest of pens, but they're not the most expensive either. And I think for the price, it's really, really worth it. And they have great steel nibs. I do plan to try a gold nib at some point, but it might be a little while before I venture into that. But there you go. There was my exciting unboxing. Hopefully you didn't find this video a little too long. Like I said, you could skip around. Oh, I do want to show you these samples now that they're dry. So this is the Shop Denim Blues, which is sort of a dark teal, which is just beautiful. This is like right in my wheelhouse of favorite colors. And then the honeycomb has a lot of really nice shading, and it's a light color, but it's definitely legible when you write with it, which is kind of nice. And let's see if I can get that. Must have already come off, that hair that was stuck in there. Okay, probably dog hair, like everything. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.